I have some business ideas with some very low failure rates, and all of them are backed by data. And so if you're trying to figure out what business to start or what to do next, then you are going to love this video. Because when I started my first business back in 2011, I was anxious because you always hear about these statistics like the failure rate for most businesses is 85%, and 9 out of 10 new startups and businesses fail, or you just hear stories about new companies going completely bankrupt. And I didn't want to be a part of the statistics and end up becoming a massive failure. But one day I received a really great piece of advice that said something like this: you can reduce your chances of failure by following a proven business model. And that's something that has always stuck with me. And so the businesses that I own and I primarily invest in are ones that have been around for decades. And I'm excited to share with you some business ideas that almost never fail. So in this video, what I want to do is cover business ideas with high success rates, go over why I think the business model works so incredibly well, and then give some tips on how to get started within that business or industry. But before we dive in, let me introduce myself. I'm Standberry, self-made millionaire and entrepreneur, and I'm on a mission to help people start, fund, and grow their business. As always, what I'm gonna do is put the timestamps for this video somewhere down in the description below. That way you can skip to the parts that you want to learn the most about. But I think you should go through each business idea and know the exact success rate for that industry. Let's go ahead and get started with business idea number 1, rental real estate property. Real estate is the biggest asset class in the world, and it is often considered to be one of the safest yet most powerful investments that there is. And so owning a rental property business isn't as risky as other business ventures because the real estate industry hasn't changed very much for hundreds, if not thousands of years, right? Like, everyone needs a place to live, and people prefer to live in places where there are great resources available. So the business model behind buying real estate, renting properties out as an investment is proven. And so many successful real estate investors will simply teach people how to find a great location with good migration and good jobs, get good debt on the property, find great tenants, and then repeat the process. And while there are certainly more details to it than that, at the highest level, it's actually a very simple business model. And so it shouldn't surprise anyone that real estate rental property businesses boast an incredible 85.3% success rate, according to Advisory Smith, who examined data from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. Which, by the way, all the data is being sourced from here unless I explicitly state otherwise. And so anyway, that is why I have invested over $1 million into real estate. It's a place where I feel super safe and confident that over time, my money will be protected and appreciate with inflation. Now, most people think to themselves, whoa, Sean, I don't have the experience, the time, or the money to invest in real estate. And look, I was in the same position, but there are several ways to invest in real estate without you having to become an expert. And so you could do two things. Number one, you could invest into a REIT or a real estate investment trust where you buy shares of a rental property. Or number two, you could become a limited partner with other experienced investors, which is something that I do. Now, of course, you could go through the hassle of learning the real estate business and managing properties yourself, but there's just pros and cons to whichever direction you take. However, I won't be able to go into all the pros and the cons in this video, but if you would like to see me make a video about real estate investing or any other business ideas, just tell me down in the comment section below. For now, let's move on to business idea number 2, accounting and other professional services. Now, this is where I've made my bread and butter. I'm a part owner of an accounting company that specializes in tax planning, tax preparation, and bookkeeping. And it's a great business model. Let me tell you why. Okay, similarly to real estate, people have been paying taxes for hundreds, if not thousands of years. There are even biblical references in Romans about paying taxes. And so since the tax system has become more and more complex over decades, Many people need an expert who can help them with tax planning or tax preparation and staying compliant with their local, state, or federal governments. And according to Western Governors University, starting an accounting firm is one of the most successful businesses that you can start. But it's not just accounting services. It could be other professional services like financial services, legal services, or even IT services. And according to Advisory Smith, these professional services boast an incredible 78% success rate. And I love these types of businesses because you can literally get started with less than $500 if you plan properly and start off networking with people who may need your help. Now, I'll definitely have a video where I break down how to start an accounting, bookkeeping, and tax firm, so make sure you subscribe to my channel to see those videos. Moving on to business idea number 3, I have agriculture. Now, agriculture businesses are very resilient and tend to have high success rates because, hold on, wait a second, Sean, wait a second. I've got to get me something to eat. And that's why, right? Like, we've all got to eat, and agriculture businesses like pig farms, dairy farms, beef farms, chicken farms, and so on are largely responsible for producing the food that we all consume. And providing food for people as a means of a business and even just survival has definitely been around for thousands of years. So the business model is proven, and it boasts an incredible 88% success rate according to Advisory Smith. And billionaires like Warren Buffett and Bill Gates are known for heavily investing into farms and owning thousands of acres of land. And man, one day I would love to invest and be a limited partner in an agriculture farm business. And based on my research, to get started, of course, you would need to figure out what kind of farm you wanted to start, and then find the land that is suitable for that type of farm. And then, of course, invest into the seeds or animals you need in order to get the farm started. Now, the cost to start a small farm business vary greatly depending on which type you want to start, but it typically can range somewhere between $600 to $10,000. And look, if you can start a farm, then the chances are you are going to find someone who wants to consume your products, especially in this era of highly processed foods. All right, let's go ahead and move on to business idea number 4, vending machines. Now, I know a few people who own vending machine businesses, and it's a great opportunity because convenience is everything, especially nowadays where we have access to everything we need at our fingertips. Hey Sean, look, I can eat my phone. Okay, almost everything except for food. So really think about it. When was the last time you used a vending machine out of convenience? I almost always use a vending machine when I'm at the gym and I forgot my water bottle or my pre-workout, or when I'm just in the barbershop and I'm waiting for my turn to get a haircut. And so that's why vending machine businesses boast an incredible 90% success rate according to dropsvending.com. And what's great about starting a vending machine business is that it is an easy passive activity. You would simply need to find a great location with good foot traffic to put the vending machine, then negotiate with the managers of the property, maybe give them a revenue share, and then invest a couple $1,000s into the machine, and then have a game plan to how you're going to supply this machine as it runs out of food. So when you think about the low startup costs combined with the low failure rate, then a vending machine business sounds like a great idea. Now look, I've covered 4 really great business ideas so far, and I want to hear from you, okay? Which business idea do you think is best to start and why? Tell me down in the comment section below, and I'll feature the best answer in one of my next videos. Moving on to business idea number 5, I have transportation. Since the beginning of time, people have been willing to trade time, money, and resources in exchange for transportation, whether that is transporting themselves from one place to another or getting something transported to their location. But nowadays, the transportation industry is really booming because we have such an on-demand economy. So with the explosion of stuff like e-commerce, consumers' expectations are to get goods delivered almost instantly. And so companies like Amazon have invested significantly in their infrastructure to deliver goods, sometimes within the same day that you order it. And with innovative apps like Uber, within a few swipes and a few clicks, you can have someone show up at your door and drive you from one place to another almost anywhere, almost instantaneously. And because we have this on-demand economy and consumer expectations, transportation businesses almost never fail with a 76.4% success rate. Now, there are many ways to get started in the transportation business, from driving 18-wheelers to signing up for Uber. But in general, you know you're going to need a vehicle and you're going to need to know what you want to deliver. Moving on to business idea number 6, I have laundromats. Now, this one actually surprised me because nowadays the cost of washers and dryers have significantly reduced. But I'm gonna go ahead and tell you now that according to Laundry Lux, laundromats have a 95% success rate. 95%, and that is after it's been studied over a 5-year period. And that was unbelievable to me, but it actually makes sense because, okay, people will always have a need for clothing, and those clothes need to be washed and dried. And while you could do this by hand, we all know it's a lot more convenient and a lot more efficient to use a machine. And that's been done for hundreds of years. So the business model is proven. Now, in this case, success comes at a high cost because an average size laundromat, which is about 2,000 square feet, ranges between $200,000 to $500,000 in initial startup costs. And this is mainly due to the need for highly grade, commercial grade washers and dryers. That being said, a laundromat is a very passive income business because the machines do all the hard work for you. For the most part, all you would have to do is make sure the laundromat is clean, make sure all the machines are working and handle repairs if necessary, collect the money from the machines, and that's it. And so I love the success rate, so even I'm thinking about trying to figure out how to get started in the laundromat business. But I have to admit, I'm still worried about the market trend on this business. Anyway, let's move on to business idea number 7, storage facilities. This is another highly successful business idea that is similar to real estate, except instead of renting out property for people to live in, you are renting out storage for people to put their stuff in. And so with the rise of e-commerce and international production, people have more stuff than they've ever had before. So the demand for storage facilities are rapidly growing. So it only makes sense why they have an incredible success rate of 92%. Now, if you want to join in on the storage facility business, you have a few options. Number 1, you could join a franchise business and become an owner in an already established brand. Or number 2, you could find a commercial real estate area, build out the storage facility yourself, which is probably the hardest way. Or you could do number 3, become a limited partner in someone else's storage business. And I'm personally trying to do number 3, but I haven't found the right opportunity just yet. But I'm still looking, and I'll definitely make a video about it as soon as I do. For now, let's move on to business idea number 8, information or media companies. This is another business that I personally own and I actively participate in because look, media has been around for hundreds of years, from the printing presses to radio to television and now the internet. People love to get educated on what exactly is going on. And these informational businesses have a 75% success rate. Now, of all the business ideas, this one has the lowest success rate, but 75% is still really high, especially considering that most businesses only have a 15% success rate. And that's why I've had a blog since 2011 and started making YouTube videos in 2020. And today, almost anyone with a computer and an internet connection can start a media company. But here's the thing, okay? It takes a long time, I mean sometimes years, to build a successful media company from scratch. At the same time, because everyone has a smartphone, it's become more competitive than it's ever been before to get into media. So it really takes a lot of hard work and a lot of consistency to pull it off. But hey, with a 75% success rate, it is definitely worth trying. Okay, moving on to business idea number 9, I have dump trucks. Companies in the mining industry enjoy a 76% success rate. But not only is the success rate high, but according to data from the Census Bureau's Business Dynamics, they also enjoy one of the highest survival rates, which is at 51% after 5 years. Now, of course, launching a mining operation is complex and may require a lot of money, but to join in onto the success, you could buy a dump truck. So a dump truck helps get rid of coals and other materials that are being extracted from the mine, which is in a high demand for many mining operations. And getting a dump truck isn't very expensive either. Okay, you could get a used dump truck for as low as $15,000. Plus, when you're not using the dump truck, you could also help people who are in the real estate industry or construction companies or real estate developers, landscapers, or even homeowners get rid of all their trash and their large amounts of waste. Now, while all of these businesses and industries have a high success rate, here's a very important note, okay? Entrepreneurship is hard. And no business is guaranteed to work, especially if you don't put in the work. So don't let these high success rates fool you. You still need to do your own research, put together a strong business plan, and execute every single day in order to succeed. All right, now before you leave, make sure you tell me in the comment section below which business idea you think is best to start, and I'll feature the best comment in my future videos. Coming up next, I have a video where I break down the highest failure rates of businesses, so make sure you check that out if you haven't already, and I'll see you over there.